Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So, we're going to be talking about The Traitors. I have been loving The Traitors so much. This season has been superb. So, let's talk about the new episode, episode 7 of season 2.
You're either an Iron Maiden or an Ice Princess.
Okay, so really quick recap. This is episode 7, and Peppermint, Max, Larsa, and Janelle have been banished, and they were all faithfuls. Last episode, they finally caught a traitor, Dan, who sucked and tried to throw Phaedra under the bus, which was a deadly mistake, literally. Phaedra and Parvati meet, and Alan comes to tell them that tonight they have two options. Either they're going to kill someone or they can recruit a third traitor. And they decide to recruit Peter. So they send him the invitation because everybody trusts Peter and he's really smart. So he's like putting the puzzle pieces together. He knew that Dawn was a traitor and he is going to come after Parvati. So it would be great if he became part of the team. So Peter gets the letter. But then Alan comes back to tell Phaedra and Parvati that Peter refused the offer. Wow, they were so disappointed. I'm surprised that Peter preferred to be faithful to his friends than to become a traitor. Good for him, but that's not a good look for Parvati. But Parvati starts delivering a sermon. She said that she will rise from the ashes and this will not stop her. Okay. The next morning, it's time for breakfast. Everyone makes it because obviously nobody died, but I always love these breakfast reactions because they're so dramatic and over the top. So they all make their way in, and Peter, he's not telling anyone what happened last night. Of course, the faithfuls were surprised that everyone made it, that no one was murdered. So they know that somebody was recruited, but they don't know if the person who was recruited accepted the offer or not. So Alan walks in and he says that he has a question for them. He asks, if a reality star falls in the forest, do they make a sound? He says that they will find out later. Parvati says, so we have a new traitor. Is it you, Peter? The only good traitor is Phaedra, because Dawn and Parvati suck. So Parvati says, raise your hand if anybody here got a letter of recruitment. Now, Peter did do a good job by not saying that he was recruited, or he didn't say anything. So he's got all this figured out. He turns to Parvati and says, well, I guess you're not the traitor because I'm still here. And she says, what does that mean? When they leave breakfast, Peter gathers Trishelle, Kevin, Bergie, and Mr. John. He tells them about the recruitment letter and he promises them that he declined it. He says that he didn't say anything because he has a plan. And he says that tonight they will band together and banish Parvati. So as they're talking, Phaedra goes into the room, but Peter says, oh, Phaedra, please give us a few minutes. She's a little offended. She goes and tells the others, oh, well, I guess I can't hang out with Peter and his clique. They told me to leave. She calls them the Peter Pals. But here's the thing. The Peter Pals, especially Trishelle, are kind of thinking that because Dan was a traitor and he exposed Phaedra, that Phaedra might be one as well. They keep saying that the Bravo people like to stick together. Then MJ goes to see what the Peter Pals are talking about, and they tell her the same thing. They say, please give us a minute. And she got mad. So now someone like Sandra thinks that Peter might be a traitor because he has this little alliance. Now, let me tell y'all something. I love Sandra. She gathers a lot of the other people, and she starts to get some of the balls where you play pole, and she starts to give her theory of Peter and how he's controlling the game, and his alliances are helping him stay in the game, and one up the other. She was smart by doing that, so they gotta banish him or one of his friends. Oh my gosh. I love seeing Sandra demonstrate this little thing with the balls. So they've made a decision. They are going to take out Peter, but they have to stick together. But then it is time for the challenge. They go out to the woods. There are $25,000 up for grabs. What they're going to do is they're going to get some bags that represent money. Each one has a different amount. They're going to have to get the bag, get to the other side of the forest, but there are traps. There's a bag for each pair because they gotta split into pairs, and they decide what group gets what amount. So they get going. And on their paths, they will be splitting by answering a question. And depending on what path they take, they will find a scroll, and it'll tell them if they answered the question correctly or not. If the person doesn't, they're out. And if both partners get the wrong answer, well, the money is gone. There are also 2 shields up for grabs, so one of the pairs will receive those shields. So they get going and start to answer these questions, which included things like, what is the name of this forest? Poor Peter was caught in a trap. He fell into like a disgusting swamp of mud, so he's out. He needed that shield, but he isn't getting it. The other teams got the answers correct, except Bergie and Shereé. Bergie also fell into the swamp, and his partner Shereé, all she said was, oh hell no, oh hell no. Shereé cracks me up. Also, in the second question, it asks, what is the symbol at the round table? Is it a moon or is it a sun? Phaedra and CT got it wrong. CT got caught in this massive net. It was crazy. So many people actually got that question wrong, and they got caught in that net as well. MJ, Shereé. But by the third question, Trishelle, Kate, and Phaedra also got caught for choosing the wrong answer. So that only left 2 pairs, Parvati and John, and Kevin and Sandra. These poor people were tired, they were running out of breath, but they got all the answers correct. So out of the 20,000 that was available, these 2 pairs were able to gather 8,000, and the ones who got the shields were Kevin and Sandra. But wait, this isn't all. They will also be going to the woods later. So for now, they go back to the house or the castle, and Phaedra and Parvati are getting everyone to vote Peter out. Like, they're convincing people why they should do that. And then Peter talks to CT, and CT snitches to Peter that they want to banish him. So Peter takes Phaedra and Parvati to ask them why they think that he should be banished. But they're, like, pretty quiet. They don't really say much. Then Peter says, well, maybe I can work with y'all. We can get some going. And Phaedra gets up and says, no. I don't want to be in no type of collusion, so leave me out of this. Because she knows that Peter is really strategic, so he could be playing them, so she wants no part in that. Alan comes back out and tells them that it's time to return to the forest, but it's nighttime already. So essentially, they're going to have their round table outside tonight in the forest, but there will be no banishment. And they are told that tonight they will have the power to change this whole game. They will decide who not to banish, who to save from being killed. So Sandra and Kevin, as I said, they're the ones that got the shield. They're saved. So Alan goes and lights fire in front of their torches. So it is upon them to choose one person who will be saved. They deliberate a little bit, and their decision is to save Shereé, which was a huge surprise. But MJ was really hurt that Sandra didn't pick her. So now that Shereé is safe, they light her torch on fire, so then she will pick the next person who is safe. So y'all see how that works? So she gets the fire and she gives it to Phaedra. And as soon as Shereé picked Phaedra, Phaedra started to cry. They asked Shereé why did she pick Phaedra, and Shereé says because no one should be judging her based on what show she came on. And Phaedra is emotional, and one of the things about it is I love this moment because out of anyone in this cast, no one has the same bond or connection that Phaedra and Shereé have from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, it's unmatched. I mean, those of us who are fans of the Real Housewives know that Phaedra represented Shereé in court. I mean, y'all know what it is.
So my emotion is about life coming around full circle and bringing us here at this moment.
So then Phaedra lights CT's torch. And by the way, every time someone was about to light up someone else's torch, Trishelle was begging so that they could save her. But CT chooses the man from the UK, John. So this wasn't a surprise. John chooses the last person, Peter. No surprise. So they asked John why did he pick Peter, and he says that it's because Peter has a plan and he is extremely determined to find the traitors. So then the 5 that were not picked and the ones who are basically sacrificed are Bergie, Kate, Trishelle, Parvati, and MJ. I think the ones who were the most sad were MJ and Trishelle. When they go back into the castle, they are just kind of chilling. When Trishelle passes by CT asks, "Do you hate me?" She says, "I don't think you care anyway what I think." And same thing for MJ. Phaedra asks, are you okay? And she says, why would I be okay seeing people who I have formed friendships with pick everyone else but me? And listen, rejection is it's a painful thing. I mean, not feeling like people like you as much as you like them, that's pretty hard, you know? So Trishelle and CT are able to talk. She says that this wasn't even about being safe from, being killed or not. Like, this was about the friendship. And she says that had she gotten that fire, she would have given it to him. And he says that the reason he chose John was because what he used to do for a living. He sees that as an asset. But he says that he does value Trishelle, but she says that she doesn't feel that. Everybody then goes to bed and the traitors go to their lair. Phaedra hilariously and accurately tells Parvati that she needs to change her attitude around people because she's coming across like an ice queen and a mean girl. And then she starts to mimic the faces Parvati makes. And as she's mimicking that, Parvati's actually doing the faces. So again, pretty accurate. It was so funny. Phaedra says, you gotta be more lovable. And then the decision on who they're going to eliminate is hard because they only have these 5 people to choose from. But it looks like it's going to be Trishelle. And that was the end of the episode. Wow, for sure, an amazing episode. The challenge was crazy. I think it's one of the craziest challenge that they've done so far because it involved a lot of physical, running, and those traps were hilarious. But yeah, you guys, I love the episode. I'm loving the show. And the thing is, I want the episodes to come, but at the same time, I don't want it to end. I think the group that they chose for season 2 was like unmatched. I am totally loving this. Not picking Peter, to him not accepting to be a traitor was such a huge loss for the traitors, especially Parvati. And at this point, if I had to guess, I think that Parvati is going to be out by the next banishment because Sandra, who had, she had just given us that beautiful demonstration about how Peter was the ball and then the other balls were his little alliances. She now thinks that Peter is genuine. So I think that by next week, Parvati is going to be gone and Phaedra will be the only traitor. And we'll see if she has the ability to recruit anyone else. But wow, you guys, loving the show. What did y'all think about the episode? Let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time. You'll have a great one. Bye.